Hi, I'm Pnina Savery, and I'm going to be learning a Mishna with you from Pirkei Avot, one of my favorites, and I'm really excited about sharing this with you today. I'm reading on page 535 of the Green Siddur. This is chapter 2 of Pirkei Avot, Mishnah 21. Hu haya omer. He used to say, referring to Rabbi Tarfon, who spoke in the previous Mishnah, Lo alecha hamlacha ligmor. It's not upon you to complete the work. V'lo ata ben chorin lihibatel mimena. But neither are you free from starting it. Im lemadata Torah harbe, if you learned a lot of Torah, notnim lecha schar harbe, you will receive a lot of reward. V'ne'eman hu ba'al malachtecha, and the boss, the one in charge, i.e. referring to Hashem, is faithful and trustworthy, she'yeshalem lecha schar polatecha, that he will repay you for your work, meaning we can trust that Hashem will reward us for what we do. V'dasha matan scharam shel tzadikim la'atid lavo, but know that the reward of the righteous will be in the world to come. So the Mishnah here discusses a number of different ideas, all intrinsically linked. First, we have the idea that whilst we are not expected to complete everything perfectly, we still need to try our best. Second, that there is a reward for studying Torah. And third, that God always rewards us, but often it's in the world to come. How are these linked? Well, in case we aren't sure exactly what's being discussed, in part 1, it doesn't say what the work is. It says we're not expected to complete the work, but it doesn't explain what the work is. So part 2 comes to explain that to us. Part 2 discusses the idea of learning Torah, implying that the focus of the rest of the Mishnah is also talking about learning Torah. Meaning that whilst we aren't all expected to become excellent Torah scholars, we are still meant to try and learn some Torah. Likewise, it is Torah study that we are rewarded for in the world to come. Meaning if we see people who are righteous individuals and Torah scholars who may not be receiving reward in this world, we are reassured that their reward will come in the next world. Sometimes, we may look at the vast numbers of books lining the shelves in our shul, in our library, or even in our own homes, and pale the insurmountable task of learning them all. Or perhaps someone without a traditional Jewish education may stumble at the immense task of learning to read Hebrew or acquaint themselves with Jewish texts. An easy conclusion to reach is to give up, to say, I can't do this, so why even bother trying to start? The Mishnah is talking directly to that question, telling us that there's always a point in trying. Our hard work will be rewarded, and even if we only make it through one chapter of that book, or only learn the first 5 letters of the Aleph Beit, it will still make a difference. Just like a teacher doesn't expect every student in their class to get an A star, or a 9 as it's now called. We only want to see each pupil putting in their effort to maximize their own unique potential. So too, God doesn't expect us all to become Torah experts, but just wants to see us try our best. A similar concept is when someone says, there's so much suffering in the world, so many people in need of help. What is the point in giving to charity or helping people, as we'll never be able to help everyone who is in need? But even if we brighten up the lives of one family with our kindness and with our chesed, that is huge. As Winston Churchill said, continuous effort, not strength or intelligence, is the key to unlocking our potential. And this reminds me of a story of Zusha, the great Hasidic master, who lay crying on his deathbed, and his student said to him, Rebbe, why are you so sad? After all the mitzvahs, after all the good deeds in your life, surely you'll get a great reward in the next world. I'm afraid, Zusha answered them, because when I get to heaven, I know God's not going to ask me, why weren't you more like Moshe? Or why weren't you more like King David? God is going to ask me, why weren't you more like Zusha? And then what will I say? So let us not be put off by the huge task in front of us. Every mitzvah, every act of kindness, every small bit of Torah learning that we do has a ripple effect. And we have no idea how far that will go. The Mishnah is both reassuring us that we do not have to achieve everything, but also reminding us of our responsibility to try. So may we remember this on a daily basis and strive to become the best versions of us that we can. Thank you very much for listening.